I hope there will be war. I hope there will be war. Because it is just, we are just playing.
The playground is disputed land in the heart of the Middle East, the so-called occupied territories. Israelis and Palestinians both claim this land. Scattered across it, more than 100 settlements with nearly 500,000 Israelis. Among them, a group of Afrikaners from South Africa, all far from home, all converts to Judaism.
In 1998, I was decorating the Christmas tree. And as I was doing it, I was praying and I said to Hashem, what is this all about? And I was shocked. I was totally shocked when I discovered that it was actually a pagan feast. And I burned the Christmas tree, and that was the start. That was really the start.
Ronel and Johan were brought up in the Dutch Reformed Church in the East Rand. There was little in their background to suggest they'd leave their church and South Africa. They say they asked questions of Christianity and didn't find answers.
When she came with these crazy ideas about the Torah and the Shabbat and the feast, I said to her, you know what? You are wrong, and the biggest mistake I ever did was to say, I will prove it to you. Because by saying I would prove that she's wrong, I had to study the word. And then after 2 weeks, I came to her and I said, you know, you're not even right, but you only got half of it.
There's just so much wisdom in the Jewish festivals that we keep. It makes a lot of sense. It's like every year going through a cycle where you search yourself.
Yael Shareth was known as Christelle Peterson until the day she converted to Judaism in Cape Town after 2 years of study. While Johan and Ronel began their conversion at home in Krugersdorp, but left for Israel before it was complete. They still don't qualify for Israeli passports, as only Jews are granted automatic citizenship under the law of return. So every 3 months they have to leave the country to renew their visas. In many ways, they say, they have renewed their lives.
For me, to stop watching rugby on a Shabbat, I mean, I loved rugby. I lived for it. Now, if you ask me, I haven't got a clue who's playing, when they're playing. As important as that was to me, it was my life, so unimportant it is now. It's amazing. You know, we would love to say maybe there's some Jewish blood way back, but I don't think it's that. I think it's our upbringing. Generally, the Afrikaner people, they are generally more religious people. And I think that is why they are more searching.
The search ended in Israel.
How can you be a Jew and not live in Israel? That's my whole heart. This is the place to be a Jew. The time of exile is over.
They chose the settlement of Susia because it offered them the life they sought, Orthodox and Zionist. Archaeological findings date Jewish life here back to 136 AD. In 1984, a group of Israelis found a new settlement. Today, 120 religious families live here.
Just on the hilltop next to us is where David and King Saul came to fight with King David to kill him. This area, it has so much history, and it makes it very real to you.
I don't have to talk about does it feel. I know it's Holy Land, and that is why I love working in the land. I love building up the country. I know it's for my people. It's for the people of Israel, and we are the people.
Jacob Talja, real name Jacobus Johannes Taljard, grew up on a farm in South Africa where his father was a preacher. Despite this, he converted to Judaism and helped 74 members of his family to follow.
This is the life that I like. I like doing it, so that's why I'm doing it.
Having farmed in South Africa, it made sense to do the same in Israel. The farm is leased from the government. Talja imports sheep from South Africa, making him not only the only Afrikaner farmer in Israel, but the only one who speaks Afrikaans to his flock.
For me, it's the easiest language still is Afrikaans. So I'm talking with them Afrikaans. That white dog there, his name is Spook.
But away from this pastoral paradise, there is bitter conflict. Almost every week there are confrontations between the settlers here and the Palestinians living nearby.
They have stolen from me 621 sheep. I've imported from South Africa. The ram that they have stolen only costs 40,000 shekels, that's all.
It's the legacy of the War of 1948. Legend has it that Israel's defense minister Moshe Dayan picked up one of his daughter's green pencils and drew a line on the map that hence divided Palestinian and Jewish land. For 19 years, the so-called Green Line marked the border until the 1967 Six-Day War, when Israel captured the territories west of the line. Now, on September the 20th, Palestinians will declare their state, taking back the territories held before 1967. A new state that Jerusalem claims is unrealistic. Right in the middle of this dispute are the Afrikaners of Susia.
I'm not really interested in where the Green Line used to be or where it is going, because before the Green Line, there was the Jordanian law, and the Jordanian law claims that anybody that settles the land for 7 years, it belongs to him. And I am settling since 92. How long is that back? 20 years. So we've got the claim now.
Nasser Nawaja does have a claim. He can trace his ancestry back more than 800 years here and insists that the land Jacob Talia is farming belongs to his family.
يعني من جنوب أفريقيا بيجي مستوطن يعني يعقوب داليا بيجي وبسكن في أراضينا. يعني يعقوب داليا من المحزن جدا إنه من جنوب أفريقيا بيجي يسوي يعني اللي صار كله في جنوب أفريقيا بيجي يطبقه في الفلسطينيين.
Nasser lived here until 11 years ago, on the site of ancient Jewish Susia.
طبعا أنا بتذكر من الحكايات أمي وأبوي شو قالوا لأني كنت صغير جدا. طبعا هي أول شيء الحكومة الإسرائيلية أعلنتها منطقة أثرية في ال 86. عملت جدار، هدمت كل البيوت وسكرت كل الكهوف الموجودة.
The families moved to nearby land, but the army and settlers are pressurizing them to leave. A few weeks ago, settlers bulldozed his well and chopped down his olive trees.
هاي أراضينا وتعلمنا أول مرة إحنا من منطقة القريتين 48 53. بعدين ثاني مرة 86. كنا على أمل إن نرجع لمناطقنا بس ما رجعنا.
He can say what he wants because he's an Arab, but he can't prove nothing because there is nothing.
Jacob Talia says Palestinians tried to kill him twice and accuses them of grazing on his land. He also says he's the only one with papers for this land.
Nawaja didn't even have the paper, excuse for the expression, to wipe his backside.
So what will happen on Tuesday? More than 100 countries have already recognized the new Palestinian state, but it's not enough.
Even if the United Nations will come to recognize the Palestinian state, if Israel comes to a position where they will refuse to recognize, then we'll see ourselves in very awkward situation.
63 years ago, it was the United Nations that established the State of Israel.
There is no precedent around the world of a country being recognized and admitted to the UN if it hasn't been established through direct negotiations with its previous enemy.
We had Gaza, we have Gush Katif, cutting off little pieces for peace. It's not working, it's not the solution.
I think a Palestinian state, if it would really bring a solution of peace and satisfaction to people, I would say maybe yes. But on the other hand, they've made it quite clear that their goal is to push all the Jews into the sea.
It's like saying what I'm concerned, it's like saying on the 20th of September you will see I would have grown wings, I'm going to fly. Let them fly. But how do they say? Don't fly too high, my little birds.
The only certainty is that there are tough times ahead for the fledgling Palestinian state. Turmoil in which these Afrikaners from South Africa, no strangers to bitter feuds over land, will occupy uncomfortable front seats.